Hi everyone, and welcome back to Frank Wealth Insights. I'm Frank Fantozzi, President and founder of Return on Life Wealth Partners, where we believe the goal isn't just to build wealth, it's to live life well. As 2025 winds down, most of us start scribbling the same resolutions: spend less, move more, eat better, save better. But really, behind those words is a single desire: to feel balanced. Today's episode is about that balance between health and wealth, how one fuels the other, and why ignoring either is like driving a Ferrari with no gas or no brakes. This isn't about the ultra-rich or ultra-fit, it's being aligned. Whether you're running a business, managing your career, raising a family, or running on caffeine, we'll explore how your choices, habits, and environment create a ripple effect on your physical and financial life. And I'll share some fresh and even unconventional ideas from the science of decision fatigue to why longevity in investors is changing retirement planning forever. Now, as always, I have to cut this in. This is for informational and educational purposes only. Please consult your qualified professionals before making any financial decisions. So with that, let's connect the dots between your body, your mindset, and your money. Here's the truth. Health and wealth share the same ecosystem. When one struggles, the other eventually follows. We know from behavioral finance and neurobiology that financial stress literally rewires the brain. It shrinks the prefrontal cortex, that part of the brain that governs long-term thinking and impulse control. That's why when money's very tight, we eat worse, we sleep less, make shorter-term decisions versus what's best for us in the long run. So it's really not a lack of willpower, it's more biology. So on the flip side, when people exercise, sleep well, they actually improve their executive function, leading, for example, to smarter spending and better investment discipline. So that's why Harvard's study of adult development, the longest study in history, found the biggest predictor of health and happiness wasn't income or cholesterol. It was the quality of your relationships and sense of control over your life. So here's a radical reframe. The balance sheet is also a wellness sheet. The numbers reflect how you manage energy, not just assets. So I had one entrepreneur that I advised started blocking white space each morning. He took a 30-minute walk before opening any email. And he told me within months, Frank, the walk became the best business investment I ever made. I had make fewer reactive decisions and my stress is way down. So because money decisions, like fitness, they thrive on clarity and consistency. Another author, Naval Ravikant, put it like this: the three big ones are wealth, health, and happiness. The challenge, though, is we pursue them in that order, but really they should reverse that order and pursue it as happiness, health, and wealth. Let's move now from connection to control, how mindset and micro habits really determine your trajectory. In finance, you've heard the term, we talk about compound interest. In life, there's something even more powerful: compound behavior. A 1% improvement in your physical or financial habits each day compounds to over 37 times growth in a year. For example, walk 10 extra minutes daily equals 60 additional hours of movement a year. Save $100 monthly, that equals $72,000 in 20 years, even at modest growth. So that same math applies to your mindset. Psychologists call this habit stacking, linking one behavior to another. For example, review your budget while walking on a treadmill. Meditate before checking the market news. Discuss family goals over Sunday breakfast instead of during tax season. Here's the cutting-edge insight. We're entering what health economists call the longevity economy. People today in their 40s may now live into their 90s, meaning our habits now determine a half century of quality life. Financial plans need to fund longer vitality, not just longer survival. In mental health, the silent factor directly impacts both. The World Health Organization estimates depression costs the global economy $1 trillion a year in lost productivity. So when you invest in therapy, coaching, or even time off, that's not indulgence, that's capital preservation. As Matthew McConaughey says, and he's a favorite actor of mine, he states that the first step in joy is taking care of yourself. You can't serve from an empty plate. So let's zoom out now for a little bit. What does this mean to plan not just for retirement, but for longevity? Most financial plans still assume today that your retirement's going to be in your mid-60s and you're going to have this 20-year glide path. But data shows that 25% of today's 50-year-olds can live past 95. That's not just more years, that's more phases of life. And it's changing everything, how we save, how we insure, even how we define our own purpose. So think of your life in 4 quarters. Learn it is your youth, earn it is your career, burn it, if you're not careful, stress and overwork might not get you to the 4th quarter, and then you return it, meaning your legacy. And we always joke about it as a subcategory as your go-go years, your slow-go years, and your no-go years. But with quality health, hopefully your no-go years is very, very minimized. So the goal is to avoid the burn-it stage by integrating health into every financial milestone. For example, you wouldn't train for a marathon by sprinting until you collapse. Yet many business owners run their finances like that. They burn out, they hire me to fix the portfolio, but what they really need is to rebalance their life allocation. Financial checkups aren't just about chasing more returns, they're also about checking if your energy and money are aligned with purpose. So an action idea for you to think about in 2026 is life rebalance audit. Where am I overinvested? Work, stress, control. Where am I underinvested? Rest, relationships, renewal. What ROI am I getting from my current lifestyle? Because really, money can't buy back time. To all those business owners out there, let's just talk about the elephant in the boardroom, health as leadership capital. Entrepreneurs often trade sleep for success, thinking that type of sacrifice equals growth. But the burnout is a profit leak, physically and financially. A recent Deloitte study showed executives working 70+ hours a week make 20% more mistakes in strategic decisions. Why? Cognitive fatigue. The same study linked burnout to 50% higher employee turnover. Your energy sets the culture's tone. If you're running on fumes, your team will sense it. So consider CEO vitality metrics, like a sleep score, exercise consistency, emotional bandwidth, just as seriously as you take your company's KPIs or your company's EBITDA. I once had a client, a manufacturing CEO, who started scheduling 30-minute non-negotiable wellness breaks. He joked in the beginning, he says, it felt like I'm just being selfish. A year later, turnover dropped, profits rose. Coincidence? Not likely. The best companies now measure employee well-being as a performance indicator. Google, Microsoft, and the Cleveland Clinic have entire wellness economies inside their organization. And in fact, the Cleveland Clinic rewards employees with lower insurance premiums based on their wellness physicals. So for your personal planning, I know you think about maxing out your 401k plan or your cash balance plan. How about maxing out your vacation time? You protect yourself with buy-sell insurance and continuity planning, but you should remember as part of your exit planning is your health strategy. You can't sell a business and enjoy your legacy if you sold your health to build it. So now we're getting ready to roll into the holidays, and this is a season of great paradox. We celebrate abundance by overdoing it. Overeating, overspending, overcommitting, all ways of escaping emotional imbalance. Here's a more modern approach, mindful enjoyment. You can indulge without sabotaging. Before buying or biting, ask, will this feel good the next day? Financially, December is an opportunity season, like lock in smart tax rebalancing or fund those 529 plans. But how about pre-scheduling your 2026 financial health appointments? And don't forget to budget for experiences, not things. Stanford research shows memories create much longer lasting happiness than individual purchases. That dinner with your family or weekend trip will mean way more than another gadget in your office. As Oprah puts it, the more you praise and celebrate your life, the more there is in life to celebrate. So let's now turn to inspiration into action. We have 5 steps I want you to think about as your New Year's health, wealth checklist tips. Automate consistency. Automate your saving, investing, and even meal planning. Automation is the bridge between good intentions and real outcomes. Sync your calendars. When you schedule your portfolio review, schedule your annual physical. Treat your health like your wealth, proactive, not reactive. How about tracking your energy, not just your money? Keep a weekly journal. When do I feel most drained or most alive? Align your biggest financial decisions with your highest energy windows. Redefine ROI, return on intention. Every dollar and every hour you should reflect what matters most to you. And then protect your peace. Guard your sleep relentlessly. Protect your relationships and your time like you guard your investments. Remember, you don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Just start with one habit, maybe 10 minutes of movement, one auto transfer a day, or one night a week where your phone is completely off. As the great philosopher Confucius said, it does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop. So as we close out this year, remember, true wealth is the ability to wake up without dread, to move without pain, to give without fear, and to rest without guilt. You can't separate money from meaning. Health gives wealth its purpose. Wealth gives health its protection. In 2026, aim for your alignment. It's not perfection, it's just progress. Because a well-lived life is the best investment you'll ever make. And if you like help designing that kind of life with purpose, plan, and peace of mind, please give us a call at 440-740-0130 or visit us at returnonlifewealth.com. From all of us at Return on Life Wealth Partners, thank you for sharing this journey through 2025 and wishing you, your families, those close to you, a new year of energy, balance, and abundance inside and out. Thank you.